Funding for this program was provided by the Annenberg CPB Project.
Oops, all video game music. Hi, I'm Cody, and this is another installment of Oops, all video game music. Tonight, Dealer's Choice. I'm your dealer. Gonna bring you some of the good shit. At least as decided by yours truly. So, I think we're gonna get right into it. Got a song that's a classic title for the NES, and it's by a guy you may have heard of, Mr. David Wise. We're gonna get this out of the way right off the bat tonight. It's a little unconventional, I know. I don't want to throw anyone off of their usual trajectory, but we're going to change things up a little bit and get right to the Dave Wise right off the bat. Here's a tune that you might be familiar with if you played a lot of Nintendo back in the day. It's from a game called Wizards and Warriors. Well, that was what we just heard there. That was a request from Kira. Thank you very much. That's from Phantasy Star 2 Text Adventure. That's the number 2. And before that, an arcade called Air Assault. Assault, I should say. It's got a U in there. And before that, a game that we've heard from before on this show. It's a little game called Shirogane no Kal to Suku no Liu. Ow. Something like that. At least that's how it's spelled out. Phonetically, kind of. In English. That was a groovy tune there. That one. And of course before that, Wizards and Warriors, as I mentioned earlier. A game in which Moja, it was once announced to me that Moja killed the brown bear from his brother Ross. Yet another game that Moja owned, and I borrowed it from him. And I actually got past the first level, which I think had to have impressed Moja and his brother. I actually beat it, can you believe it? That's right, I kept hitting continue until I beat that game. Anyway, fun game, despite the... it's still challenging, even though you continue exactly where you just died. It's one of those games, but manages to still be challenging. Like, if you die on a boss, it does reset their life meter, so that alone makes it pretty fucking challenging. Well, coming up next, I thought it was appropriate, if this is going to be about dealers, we should play a song from a game that Mr. Eugene Jarvis was involved in and possibly played the part of a dealer on it. Another game you might have heard of if you've been paying attention, or any of that, been around for a couple of decades or more. It's an arcade game called Narc.
tell him to go fuck himself? Is that what you did? Tell him to go fuck himself? You fucking hick. You fucking hick. Come here. Come here. Get him up. Come here. Come here. You go over there right now. You apologize. You better hope he lets you back in. If you ever get out of line over there again, I'll smash your fucking head so hard you won't be able to get that cowboy hat on. You hear me? You fucking hick. Sammy, listen. This guy obviously doesn't know who he was talking to. You understand? He doesn't know that we're dear friends. I mean, he's already very sorry. But if you could do me a favor, let him back in. I swear to you, he'll never get out of line again. I promise you that.
He does it again, he's out for good. I don't care what it is, Nick. I'll never let him in the place again.
I'm sorry about this, really. All right, Ace? Thanks, pal. You took your boots off, you put your feet on the table. You shit-kicking, stinky horse-smelling motherfucker, you! You fucked me up over there. I'll stick you in a hole in the fucking desert. You understand? Move in and apologize. Yeah, get the fuck.
As you can see, this is a PlayStation Black Disc. Cut number 1 contains computer data, so please don't play it. But you probably won't listen to me anyway, will you?
was some music from a game called Phelios, with a PH. pH balanced for a woman, strong enough for a man. Before that, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, obviously. That was the one audio track that would play in your CD player there. I believe I was notified that that song is used in the game. I didn't think it was, but, you know, heck, it's been a long time since I played that game. I played it a lot, though, back in the day. Before that, the Ninja Gaiden Arcade Las Vegas stage. That one is interesting to me because, once again, that was an arcade that I owned at one point, and I definitely recorded that song onto a cassette tape in a very analog way. You know, hardwired off of the board, going into a stereo line in. Anyway, I don't remember the second half of that song that has all the Buddy Rich shit in it, but you know, just another fun thing about doing this show is I was gonna play that song anyway, and then I listened and I'm like, is this like a remix? But from what I can tell, it's not. I think it sounds like it's repeating, and it isn't yet. There's, you know. So, anyway. And that's an idea that I had for a theme for a potential future episode, is songs like that people miss, because I do find those occasionally. People that upload songs to various places that I get them from, and there's way more to the song, but they didn't upload all of it because they thought it was just repeating. Some of them are pretty crazy, like some of them are, you know, like 10 times longer than you thought, if you're one of those people that uploaded it. But that'll be a very special episode someday. But coming up next, I thought it'd be fun to revisit a Nintendo game that I enjoy quite a bit. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. was a song from a game called P47 Aces. That's Aces. And before that, we heard some music from Aero Fighters 3, an arcade, I believe. Before that, Mega Man X3, the Sega Saturn PlayStation version that I don't believe we got here in America. That was a song from one of the Doppler levels, I think. One of the later, the levels when you know, would be Wily or Sigma levels. And I think that game, it's, you know, you're not supposed to think that Sigma is going to be on that, but spoiler alert, he's the actual enemy at the end. But, yeah, that's interesting. It's, they kind of went a different direction. They use the same songs, but they're quite different on that, and I enjoy it anyway. The Super Nintendo version has, that's one of the few songs that I don't know, I like a lot of the music on it, but, it's very, kind of tinny. The Mega Man X2 is kind of that way, also. Both just very tinny for 16-bit soundtracks. And then the one that I played is, it has its own faults, but, it's just very interesting to hear, especially, like, I think I read about that in either online or in like an actual video game magazine way back, and I was like, oh man, I'd like to play that, you know, and I couldn't, but eventually I was able to emulate it and hear that music, and it was very interesting to me, being very used to the Super Nintendo one, which also is somewhat of a rare cartridge, apparently. I guess they didn't make a whole lot of them. Anyway, Mega Man X3 there, And, you know, I've been thinking about something here lately. Some of you might have heard me talk about this recently, but, I had a bit of a situation here recently, and I've been kind of limping around on a bum leg, waiting for it to slowly heal. And it's kind of got me thinking about a fond memory from 30 years ago. Pretty close to that exactly, but my friend would I had a few friends, and every weekend I would try to get one of them to stay the night at my house, or vice versa. Usually I wanted them to stay at our house, because one of the fun things that I would do with my friends was wait for my parents to go to bed and sneak out of the house and, do dumb shit that teenagers do. And if I couldn't have someone stay the night, I would at least try to rent a video game, which is why I would save up my lunch money and not eat very much for lunch at school. because that was pretty much the only allowance I got, was just if you've got change after your $3 that we give you for lunch. So I always tried to make sure I had enough to rent a video game over the weekend. But this particular specific memory this weekend, I didn't rent anything, but I had a good friend at the time staying the night at my house, and it was a Saturday night, and we didn't have cable, of course, and one of the local, the CBS affiliate, had this thing on Saturday nights, basically at midnight when SNL was over on the NBC station. You would watch the CBS affiliate, and they had like a 1-hour slot that was something from HBO. And a lot of times it might be a Gallagher special or just some comedian. I remember them playing Bob Saget on there, where he was, you know, he was doing what he did, which was to be very not like his character on Full House or America's Funniest Home Videos. And of course it was, you know, bleeped and censored quite a bit, but still, that was kind of exciting, you know. Whatever they were showing usually was pretty exciting because, you know, didn't have cable. And for a while, most of the time, they would show Kids in the Hall, and that's where I first saw Kids in the Hall, and it was like, it's kind of best of sketches, so like you'd see the same sketches over and over sometimes, but it was, you know, I still enjoyed it quite a bit. And me and my friend watched Kids in the Hall, and played video games, mainly one. And then in that same night, I had twisted my ankle, and I don't think I was doing anything particularly athletic. I think I just was like running in the house, and I used to wear flip-flops a lot, and I think it happened multiple times where I would like trip because I was wearing flip-flops in the house and twist my ankle. And this was one of those times, and it hurt quite a bit. But I was determined to sneak out of the house still, because I had my friend over, and that was just kind of the rule, you know. So, something we would do was, there was a school very close by where I lived, and it was very easy to break into. And I was so determined that I limped my ass up there, and I wore flip-flops too because my foot was so swollen up, like I couldn't wear shoes anyway. So, limped up to the school, and, you know, luckily I didn't have any police show up or any, you know, anyone show up that I might have had to run from, because I wouldn't have been able to run. But it was a lot of fun, and the game that we were playing that night was one of my all-time favorites. Top 3 Super Nintendo games, still to this day. I, at the time, was getting pretty good at it, and I think I'd borrowed this from someone. Like most of the games I had back then, I didn't actually own them, I borrowed them from somebody. But, I went through and beat the game, I think, multiple times on different difficulty settings. And I can still do it, although probably not quite as good as I was back then. It's a game called Space Megaforce.
it's me, Richard Simmons, and this is my brand new 94 Deal Meal. You've seen it on TV, well, now it's in stores, and it's helping millions of people lose weight.
I lost 154 pounds. I've lost 184.
173 for me.
277. Thanks, Richard.
In 94, way less, not more. But hurry, because these Deal Meals are moving out of your favorite store.
Well, how are your knuckles doing? Not Knuckles, the character, but your knuckles. That was a game called Knuckle Bash. Hope they didn't get bashed up too much. But, it's a good song to get high to, probably. Not that I would know. Before that, an arcade from Data East called Cobra Command. Cobra Command! And I was just looking at this online. Apparently, it came out in 84 and also 88. I'm assuming what we were hearing was from 88. And Sega was involved in the 84 one, so that might have just been a totally separate game. I'm going to have to do some more research into this one. But, yeah, I think that had to have been from the 88 one. Anyway, before that, Angry Music Man was guessing Kid Icarus. Close, but no cigar. Metroid. Another hip Tanaka joint. That's, Time's Running Out. Something like that. Quick Escape. That's the title I'm looking at right now. I don't know if that's the official soundtrack version, but probably. It does sound different without Julia Child's kitchen timer going off during it. Hurry up and jump on these jelly beans. You got used to Mike and Ike's earlier in this level, Turian, but now it's just jelly beans to get out of this place. Okay. Well, coming up next, I thought we haven't heard much, if any, Amiga music tonight. And let's hear a song that you might recognize if you've ever played this specific game for Amiga. And if you played this game for any other system, then you're not going to recognize this fucking song at all. It's a game called Double Dragon 3 for the Amiga.
up to pizza.
Oh, God, these clothes. They're too tight, they're strangling me. I'm having a hard time here, man.
Oh, man, the professor's freaking out. Be cool, man.
Everything will be fine in a few hours.
Don't forget to breathe. Hey, buddy, we're gonna take you over to the tent now, all right?
Having a bad time here, man. I wish this thing was over.
It will end. Everything's gonna be cool. Hey, you can pick up your buddy in about 2 hours. I'm gonna give him some B12 and some orange slices. Oh, and hey, everybody, listen up. Only take what you can handle and always know your dealer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
was some music from Mr. Barry Leach, Utopia for Amiga. Certainly takes me back to that time period, you know, late 80s, early 90s. Entire 90s, really. But in my experiences, it was always like you'd go to some guy's house that someone that you knew or a friend of yours knew, and they were one of those computer guys, and yeah, that Amiga music, it just exemplifies that era very well, I think. And there were also those experiences where, like, you know, the computers that we had at school, where it's just using the speaker on the CPU that's just makes annoying beep noises and stuff. And sometimes you get like a DOS game, like I had Ninja Gaiden, and it was supposed to be based on the arcade, and it was. I think it just had level 1 and 2, because, you know, there wasn't enough storage space on the floppy disk for anything else. But they actually attempted to have the songs from the arcade on there. I'm not going to torture you right now and make you listen to them, but I remember being in high school and being in this technology type class that you know, an elective class. And, you know, certain classes are, sometimes on my lunch break, me and some friends would go into the computer lab, and I would always keep, like, I had Mega Man 1 and 3 for DOS on floppy disk. There was no 2, just 1 and 3, and 1 has, like, its own made-up bosses, and I think there's only 4 of them and 4 levels. But if memory serves me correctly, Dynamo Man was on that, and ended up being an actual boss in Rockman and Forte. We've probably already heard music from that on this show. Anyway, Mega Man 3 was a little bit better. Still, I don't think it had music. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden, they actually, like, had the internal speaker on the CPU try to play the songs from the game, which is admirable, but also kind of annoying, you know? And there was some nerdy kid in my class that was sitting, like, across the room, and he heard, I think, like, the In Between the Levels song, and he was like, "Someone is in Japan." Anyway. Let's hear some music in honor of that one Dune thing coming out in theaters. Let's listen to a Sand Dune song from NES, Street Fighter 2010. think I forgot to mention a couple of songs there. And apologies, because oftentimes when I'm doing these shows, I miss a few songs at least, and I don't tell you what they are. It's not on purpose, I promise. I do strive for perfection here. And, you know, I don't accomplish it, but I just want it to be pleasant to listen to. I want the audio levels to sound good. I don't want there to be jarring spots where you're you're rushing to turn your volume up or down if you're listening to this at work or something, like I'm gonna do. I just want it to be a pleasant experience with a flowing, consistent audio level. And I also want you to hear the titles of the songs, at least what game they're from. That was Street Fighter 2010, as I said. But earlier, we had a song from The Messenger. That was a request from Angry Music Man. And I should say more often, for fuck's sake, if you have a request, I'm open to those. The most time-consuming part of doing this show, of course, is the preparation. Yeah, had to say it. No, but, yeah, that's, part of the process that takes up a lot of time is deciding what songs should be played on the next episode. So, if you have a good suggestion, I'm always open to that. I'll probably play it. Let's put it this way. It's going to have to be really bad for me not to play it on the show. And that's not to say that my standards aren't hopefully high enough for the songs that I randomly think of to play on the show, but anyway, let's not get too out in the weeds, man. There's been enough weed around us, right? And if not, I'm sorry. So yeah, The Messenger. Thanks, Angry Music Man. Before that, a game called Ninja Kazan. And now I think I've mentioned all the songs that have been played on the show. And coming up next, this is a song that, I gotta be honest with you, it has been stuck in my head for 2 or 3 weeks now, at least, maybe more. I believe it's a Shinji Hosoe song. And let's give it a listen. It's from a game called Metal Hawk. Alright, well, that was a song from Caliber 50, an arcade game from the early 90s. Hope you enjoyed that. Before that, we had a song from Super Nintendo. You'll never guess what that song was. The Jetsons. Ever played Jetsons for Super Nintendo? I don't think I ever did. But I did listen to the music. Well, folks, it's been a fun night. Joe Pesci's head caught on fire at some point, and that was a good thing. Daniel Stern flushed a public urinal, and we're still trying to train him to do that after he fills one of those up with piss. So, I think we're working our way towards something good here. We're going to finish the show off tonight, and thanks for listening, folks. We do have our Patreon and PayPal links if you'd like to support this kind of shit. We're going to finish the show off tonight with a song from a game I guess it's fitting, I don't know. But it's a game called Corn Buster. Ever busted some corn? Well, you're about to. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you soon. Good night. Until next time, Fantasy Lantasy.